the world's most modified youth. Years ago, Ethan Bramble went viral for his extreme look, from having over 80% of his body tattooed, all the way down to getting some of the most craziest modifications one could think of. But years later, he comes to find that he's regretting some of those decisions. Now, before we talk about what he regrets and why he regrets them, let's talk about what mind-blowing procedures Ethan did to get the title of the world's most modified youth. When Ethan was only 11, while other kids were most likely playing video games or goofing off, he got his first body modification, which was the stretching of his ears, and over time, his earlobes stretched out further and further. And a year later, when he turned 12, him and his friends got their hands on a tattoo machine and pretty much ended up doodling on themselves with permanent ink. But the real fun started when he was 15. Cause from there he began getting tattoos from actual artists, and his collection of ink spread all over his body. Never mind the easily hideable spots like the back, legs, chest, and even arms. His tattoos started creeping up onto his face, having as much as 30 pieces in just that area alone. But at some point, he said forget this, let's go more extreme. And so he went ahead and blacked out half of his face. No designs, just pure black ink. But guys, this is just the beginning, cause now we enter the no return modifications, meaning the ones he got next are stuck with him for life. Around the age of 17, he started branding himself, then punched out his nostrils, and from there, he moved on to tattooing his eyeballs black. Unlike getting tattoos on your body, there's no going back from this procedure, so once you ink your eyeballs, you're stuck like this. Things only got more wild when he removed a portion of his ears. And while we're at it, let's get rid of the belly button as well. Now, his next modification is apparently a crowd favorite, and that's the silicone implant on his hand, which were inserted underneath his skin. And to make matters more creepy, it comes in the shape of a spider. Crazy what can be done these days. However, with all of these modifications, he says the worst one was his tongue split, cause during the healing process, things got so bad that he couldn't eat for 2 to 3 days. Not to mention he couldn't take any pain medication either. He even tried sucking it up in a baby syringe in order to take it in that way, but no bueno, it didn't work. Another problem was nap time, cause you see, in order to not choke on his saliva while he's passed out, he had to sleep sitting up. As someone who's had to sleep sitting up due to a rib injury, brother, I feel you. It's one of the most unpleasant experiences. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, what do all of these modifications and tattoos cost him? And how does he afford this? Well, the answer is pretty simple, because according to him, it didn't cost much, simply because the majority of them were done by his close friends. Meaning, you know, friends discount. But if you really want to know, he says it would have been upwards of $60,000. Now, this is where our story takes a turn. Originally, he was modifying himself because he liked looking different and got a sense of empowerment. He could walk down the street and he's the main event, all eyes on him. He even once said he was never gonna stop getting modified, so what changed? Usually when you're going through life living for yourself, your enjoyment and your comfort, you pretty much do whatever you want without a care in the world. However, when this thing called responsibility gets dropped on your head, that's when, for most people, maturity sets in. In his case, responsibility came in the form of his daughter. Cause you see, as Ethan got older, he began wishing he didn't go as far as he did with getting face tattoos, saying he'd love to be able to go pick up his daughter from school without having the other children or the parents of those children freak out. Rightfully so. Imagine wanting to do something as simple as that, but anytime you do it, you feel extremely uncomfortable. Even though realistically, his tattoos and body modifications would never affect anyone else, right? But the reality is, people will always be judged and treated differently for something as extreme as that. Which is also why he attributes a lot of his anxiety to having a face full of ink. So what do you think he did to fix all of this? Well, over the past year, he's been under the laser 6 to 7 times, trying to remove the tattoos on his face, and it actually seems like it's working really well for him. He claims he was super excited about the next chapter in his journey, in the sense that over the next couple of years, he can clear the canvas and have a fresh face, starting from new. Hey, kudos to him. You know, at the end of the day, I always say it's your life, your choice, and it really seems like his daughter had a huge impact on his decision. So I'm actually really excited to see what his journey is gonna look like from here. Anyways, check out my other videos similar to this, smash that subscribe button with the bell notifications on, cause my turtle Summy Jr. really wants to see us hit 200,000 subscribers by the end of the year. With that being said, I'll see you guys next Saturday.